Here is Ray in Maryland. Go ahead, Ray.
Hey, Eddie, how are you on this beautiful Monday?
Great, thanks.
Real quick, I was listening to your Monday night show last night on 39, and
Yeah.
I felt so bad for you. Every other caller, you had to explain that you had a daily show, and the one guy that called in said, can you clear up a rumor, Eddie? I heard Kiss had an event and didn't invite Ace, and now he might drop some dirt.
What Ray's talking about is it's really weird doing that. Not weird, but as many know, I do a sixth show on another channel here once a week. I'm on Hair Nation most Mondays, 5 to 8 Eastern. And there's, no matter how many times I tell people about this daily show, there are still people that either can't get it or don't get it or won't get it or just don't process it. And yeah, somebody called in. It's like, Eddie, I want to talk to you about this rumor that I heard that there was this event that Ace Frehley was at and that he gave an ultimatum. I'm like, well, no, that all happened on my show. Just go listen. But yeah, it's funny, Ray. I remember that very clearly.
It was great. You were like, Mike. That happened on my show.
Because he had the totally wrong story. It just showed you how ridiculous, stuff gets completely twisted. This guy had the whole Ace Frehley, Paul Stanley thing having happened. Ace went to something and was snubbed, and it was complete. He's explaining to me what happened. I'm like, no, it happened on my show, and you're way off. That was funny. Ray, what's your album covers, man?
My number 5, and it's not overly artistic, but it definitely fits the album. It's Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power. Brutal cover, to say the least.
And it really happened.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Burning Guy on Rage's first album. That was going to be on my list possibly, too, for that same sort of effect. And I do have a maiden entry at number 4, and that was a tough one because I was down to a couple. But I love Eddie Rising from the Dead on the Live After Death album. The blue with the gold, just a really good cover. That's one of my favorites. At number 3, I have Ozzy's Diary of a Madman. Just creepy, the little horror kid in the background. Loved that one. Number 2, which I didn't know about the full story of it until I saw the Dio doc and heard you talk about it several times, Holy Diver. And
which is insane that really happened. That was the biggest thing in the Dio doc. I was like, that was actually shot? That's insane.
I know. That was an incredible story. And my number 1, like you, not only did I stare at it, but I would draw it on a regular basis. It's Kiss Destroyer.
Yeah, Destroyer was thank you, Ray. Destroyer was something that you just, as a kid, were mesmerized by. I was. I mean, I just stared at that cover of those guys in the pose on the rocks and then listening to the music. It was just nuts to hear that. A couple others that came to mind during Ray's call. I love the Rainbow Rising album cover, also done by Ken Kelly, the late Ken Kelly, who did Destroyer and Love Gun. When it comes to Kiss, I really love Rock and Roll Over as well. I love that circular logo. And but Rainbow Rising is a great one. Skid Row, Slave to the Grind is a great one. That's art that was done by Sebastian's father. Sometimes just something really simple like like Billy Squier's Don't Say No. I just think that's a really cool classic looking album cover too.